Hey, I'm Jake Mace with JakeMace.com. This is Jokum, and this video we're talking about the Real Kung Fu Fighting Part 2. If you want to see Part 1, it's right here on the screen. Click on this link and go to it. That Part 1 video of Real Kung Fu Fighting has got over 1 million views so far, so thanks for watching and training. Hopefully you've been a more effective martial artist because of our lessons, and you've been inspired to train. That's the purpose of our channel. In Part 2, we're going to showcase 5 new moves that are very effective techniques from Shaolin style Kung Fu. And these are especially found in the Chin Na system of Chinese Kung Fu joint manipulation, wrestling, grappling, and submission. In the Chinese world of martial arts, a Chin Na master is a scary dude or a scary dudette. They have the ability to knock you out with chokes as well as submit you with joint manipulation on any joint. And so the first technique we're going to show today is off a handshake. If you're shaking hands with somebody or somebody grabs you by the hand and is squeezing too hard, trying to take you somewhere, embarrass you, be a bully, or just try to crush your hand. I've had a lot of people try this one to me in the past, and here's the technique, here's the escape. When they've got you by the hand, we want to relax our hand right before the escape happens. So if I squeeze him, we fight it out, we're both going to be trying to out-strength each other. But I want to out-technique this guy. So I relax my hand briefly, and then I take my other hand, and I hit him with a side hand chop or a palm strike right where the palm meets the wrist. So this part of the bone right here. And I want to hit that with my 5th metacarpal or my palm. At the same time, pull my hand away. Timing is everything for this one. We've got the hand, release the tightness, hit and pull, and then immediately come back with that right straight right to the head. Again, we're fighting it out for the handshake. Relax briefly, hit down, pull back, pull right straight to the face. One more time. Relax, hit down, pull back, right straight coming in. Full speed, here's how it should look. Our second technique for this lesson involves a mercy fight, or sometimes called the Roman knuckles. And we have different levels. Somebody's getting us in a mercy fight from the top, or the middle, or lower. And you know that if you get into this mercy fight as a kid in middle school or high school or something, and somebody gets the upper hand on you, they can really embarrass you and make you look like a fool because your whole body will be controlled by the pain in your wrist and your fingers. And so we don't want to try to fight back when it's the high version. We want to let them win. And when they win, pull them on top of us and then introduce them to our knee, up right into the chest. So from here, they're trying their hardest. Make them feel as if they're going to win, because we're playing chess here. As my friend David Dorian Ross just told me, we're playing chess, not boxing. So make them feel they're going to win, and then expose them to the knee, underneath that way. One more time. We got the upper hand, pull them in, knee straight up into the chest. And here's how it should look full speed. Next we have the middle location, same technique. With this one, we're going to step forward with one leg, and whatever leg stepped forward with, the exact same arm flips over the top and goes like this. Then when I'm turned in this position, I'm going to come back at them with an elbow right to the head, keeping the bottom arm in my possession the whole time. Let's do it again. They've got the power. We collapse that power and throw it to the side, flip over the top, elbow back to the head multiple times while I keep him in my powerhouse with this hand. Let's do it once full speed. And then last is the low position. If they've got us low, maybe they're uppercutting underneath. Oh God! If this happens to you, we're going to use the knee, come over the top, and explosively break the lock downward. Leave this hand in my possession, then elbow chest, chest, face. 3 hits to come back at him. Again, from the low position, knee coming over the top, break the lock, chest, chest, face. Let's go once full speed. The third technique, your attacker grabs you by the wrist and you're being grabbed across. So his right arm to my right arm. If you grab my left arm, I would do a different technique. So for this technique, it's right to right, across. And what I want to do is, I don't want to pull back and fight, because then we're in a fight and the strongest person wins the tug of war. Instead, I want to take my opposite hand and trap down on his hand hard, trying to cause a little bit of shock. or a little bit of slap or a little bit of pain to him and try to throw his mind off a little bit. I want him to think about that pain. So I hit down hard, take the hand that he grabbed, this one right here, and come around the outside over the top and grab onto his forearm here, but I keep this hand on top. So now I have his hand and his wrist. Then I'm going to take his wrist and shove it into the ground as I sink my stance down, creating pain on his wrist. Subconsciously, he'll make a choice. And his choice will be go down or stay up and break the wrist. And everybody will always choose go down. And once he's down that way, we can either break and run away, or we can kick back right for the face with our rear leg. Let's try it again. They grab onto us, cap the hand, pop, over the top, grab onto the wrist or the forearm, then keep this tight against my body and break his wrist down into the floor, and then kick back in right to the face. And one more time, full speed. The next technique was done to me for the first time when I was in high school by my baseball coach, my construction boss during the summer, and my family friend who was also a master of karate, Mr. Angeloni. And he used to get us in this lock, and he would tell us, I want you to punch me in the face as hard as you can. And when we would go to punch him, he would just clamp down the wrist and we'd lose all of our strength. And I thought it was the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And so we call this a China handcuff or an Indonesian handcuff. I got his elbow in my armpit right here. I got this hand, my right hand, on his right knuckles, and my left hand underneath on top of my knuckles. And then Jokum's got sensitive wrist for this one. So I can just clamp down and cause some pain, and it just takes all the strength of the body away, and he'll tap when he's had enough. That's it. Here's how I teach to escape from it. They've got the handcuff. The first thing we do is we get in a solid stance and we put our foot in front of theirs, right here. Solid stance. At the same time, take this open hand and go underneath my fingers and try to reinforce my wrist. And that's stage one because you have to fight a little bit against that force going into you. The best technique would be just to avoid it before it happens. But let's say it's already happened. Step in front, guard my fingers. Step in front, guard my fingers. Really quick. Step in front, guard my fingers. So now if he pulls as hard as he can, I'm trying to fight by pulling my fingers and creating a defense to his force. When I'm ready, I'm gonna push my palm down to the ground, pop, right here, and try to pop it out. Immediately flip this down and hammer fist to the groin. Then I reverse beak up to the nose with a crane, reverse beak, and then elbow back into the head multiple times, as many as it takes. Let's do it again. They got us in the handcuff, protect the fingers, step in front. Pop the palm down, hammer fist to the groin, then reverse beak up, and then elbow, elbow, elbow. Multiple times. Full speed. The next technique looks the goofiest, but is probably the most real and practical for street fighting. If you catch somebody's hand and you've got a finger here, or a finger here, or a finger here, or a finger here, just tearing the fingers apart and basically making this human being into a penguin. Just rip it apart. And so the goal is to catch fingers in the scuffle. You're good, you're hitting all this stuff, you catch fingers and small joint tear manipulation, rip it apart right there. Which is why small joint manipulation is usually illegal in most tournament contact sports like MMA and UFC. But it works very, very well on the street. Grab on the fingers, we're gonna tear that hand in half. If somebody catches you in this particular hold, I want you to go over top of one arm, underneath the other arm, and turn away from your attacker with your body. And that should get you out and allow you to come back with a back fist or elbow right to their head. Again, they got you, maybe they got another finger, a different finger. It works every way. Over the top, underneath, turn away, come back with elbow or with back fist. Let's do it full speed. Those are the 5 techniques for this episode of Real Kung Fu Fighting. This is part 2. Smash the thumbs up button for us, like this video, and share it with all your martial art friends. In the comments below the video, I love when you guys tell me what martial art you're practicing currently and what city you're watching from. I also love to ask you guys who's a better martial artist, Chuck Norris or Bruce Lee? It's that age-old question of who would win in a real martial art fight. Tell me in the comments below the video, and I'll see you guys next time for the Kung Fu fighting video part 3.